in the case of Mr. Paterson, there was such a lot of publicity about it. And I had been recalled by the private hospital to go back and have a check with somebody else, but I'd moved away from the residence I lived in, so obviously I didn't get the letter. But then when so much was appearing in the news headlines and everything, I decided to contact the private hospital to see if I had been recalled, which I had. Ian Paterson performed 2 lumpectomies on me. The first one was in June 2000. I found a lump in my right breast, went to the GPs as you do. Then she referred me to Mr. Paterson. She said, "Oh, this is a really good breast surgeon, I'll refer you to him." I went to see him, he examined me, I had a mammogram and a scan and whatever, also a fine needle aspiration, and he said, "Oh yes, there's definitely a lump there and it should be removed." So a few weeks after, I'd gone privately to the private hospital. I went in, had the operation, all seemed to go fine, but there's always that thinking in your mind, is it cancerous? Which he said it could be. Went back to see him after the histology report had been done, and he said all was fine. It was fibroadenoma, which I found out at a later date it was just a cyst. So he did the operation. I was just so relieved to have the operation done and everything was fine. I then saw Mr. Paterson again in the November of 2002, as I found another lump in the same, similar area, not just in the same place, but still in my right breast. So I went back to see him again, and he said, "Oh, this feels a bit more sinister, we better remove it," which I had the operation again. He did the lumpectomy, and then saw him a few weeks after and was told everything was fine. But because it said it was sinister and needed operating on, it did make me feel quite worried and nervous, and I thought, oh, is it cancer this time? So I was so relieved to get to know it wasn't, but turned out at a later date I didn't need either of the operations. I felt angry, I felt a little bit puzzled as to why this should have happened, and then the more I thought about it, the more cross I felt about the fact that someone had done this to me when I didn't need it. One thing I would say, if somebody has been operated on when they shouldn't have been, or had, been treated wrongly by the medical profession, always seek legal advice. I contacted Thompsons Solicitors because I knew they were dealing with the case of Mr. Paterson. As soon as I rang them, they were so helpful and just were so very nice to talk to. So always seek legal advice and go ahead with it, because it is well worth it.